Hello class, this is Mr. Thill, and I'm coming to you today with a video that kind of goes over how the muscles inside of your body work. So today we're going to be answering this question at the top, basically how do muscles work? Muscles are one of the pieces that is very important in allowing you to move and do things throughout the day. So our focus here is going to be on muscles and how muscles help you to move. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is how we have two different categories of muscles. There are two main types of muscles. The first class or group of muscle is the involuntary group of muscles. These are muscles that kind of work by themselves. So these are muscles where you don't really need to think about moving them. They just kind of move on their own. It's like it's just something that it's just their job is just to move. So these are muscles that mostly work by themselves. Examples of this might be, for example, your heart muscle. Your heart is always pumping blood. Your brain does not have to actively tell it every single day, you need to pump, you need to pump. It just does it kind of by itself. The one that we're interested in today, the type of muscles we're interested in today, are going to be your voluntary muscles. So voluntary muscles are muscles that you kind of have to tell to do something. So these are muscles that will need a signal. It'll be a really quick signal, but they'll need a signal from your body to move. So we're going to say these are the muscles that need a signal to do their job. So any muscle that is involved in like physical activity, usually like running, jumping, high-fiving somebody, lifting weights, those are going to involve voluntary muscles, muscles that need a signal. So for today, we're going to go ahead and take this drawing of the skeletal system of an arm, and I know it's not perfect, but it'll give us a good kind of foundation for showing you the job that muscles do inside the body. So what we have here in this picture is a picture of what the inside of your arm looks like if you're just looking at the bones. So right here, this long singular bone, this is the upper arm. That bone is known as the humerus. I'm not going to add that onto the chart here because I don't need to confuse you, but this is the long bone that's in the upper part of your arm. Now these two bones down here, those make up your lower arm, this part of your arm. So those two bones are called the ulna and the radius. Once again, I'm not going to add those to the picture, but just know that your lower arm is made of two bones that kind of come together over at your wrist joint. So the question we're exploring here is how do muscles allow your arm to do things like flex and move and rotate. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in some pictures that show you where some of the primary muscles are in your arm. There's quite a few in your arm, but we're going to focus on just a couple that are involved in moving the pieces of your arm together. So on top of your humerus, on top of this long bone here, you have a muscle called the biceps. So I'm going to go ahead and add it in pink so we can see it is a different color than the muscles. And the biceps, you can feel them in your arm. They're the part that bulge when you flex. So your biceps rest on top of the humerus, and they have a little, well, not really little, it's a pretty strong strip. They have a little strip right here that is in charge of moving your lower arm up. So the way that this biceps works, and I'm going to label it biceps because it is an important muscle to know. So the way the biceps work is your brain tells the bicep to shrink, to contract, to press together. And when your brain sends that signal to your biceps, it pulls your lower arm up towards you. So when I do this motion, my biceps are moving my lower arm towards me. And the tendon is the little strip right here that pulls my arm towards me. So I'm going to label the tendon as well. So if nothing else, know that word tendon. Your tendon's attached to the muscle and then it's attached to a bone, and tendons are what pulls your bones around on your body. Now on the other side of your upper arm, of your humerus, there's another muscle called the triceps. So your tricep runs on the lower side of your arm, kind of like this. And similar to the biceps, your triceps muscle is attached to your lower arm through a tendon. So this one, this bottom muscle here, is called your triceps. And then this here is the tendon that goes with your triceps. So when you have your arm in an upward angle like this, where you're making a fist or you're flexing, and then you straighten it out, your triceps is doing that job. So your triceps is allowing your lower arm to go away from you. So your biceps pulls your arm up towards you. Your triceps, when it flexes, lets your arm straighten out. Okay, sorry about that. My camera died, so I've recharged it. And now I'm going to wrap up the content that was presented today. So like I said, the way that your arm muscle works is you have your muscle here, you have your tendon that's attached to the bone, and when your muscle flexes, it pulls or releases the other bone it's attached to away from you or towards you. The only other thing I want to add onto this diagram is right here where our upper arm bone and our lower arm bones connect. That is this location. I'll put a little arrow to it. That's called the joint. In this case, that's your elbow joint. All the joints in your body can move in different ways. Some can move more than others. For example, the elbow joint can go up and down, but it can also rotate your lower arm. So it's a joint that has that kind of movement to it. So any place where you have bones that move, you're going to see a similar setup where you have muscles that pull or release tendons that allow your bones to rotate or flex or move at joints. So look in your hand, you'll see a similar setup. Look in your leg, you'll see a similar setup. Look in your toes, you're going to see a similar setup. So that is our quick overview of the muscular system and how it controls the movement of your body.